Bloodstains and Black Veins by Kauenelikha. There are days Dazai feels like laughing at himself for even considering he could step foot in the light. I don't deserve to live, Dazai-san. I don't. Dazai's not suited for this. Anyone else would do a better job than him.
Why am I even breathing? I shouldn't be allowed to breathe.
Atsushi is gasping, air not reaching his lungs, hands trembling between both of them where they're knelt on the ground. The half-mangled bodies of their targets are being carted out of the warehouse. Police sirens blare, shrill and headache-inducing. Dazai has brought them behind the warehouse to get Atsushi away from the suffocating darkness, to provide some separation between himself and the shadows clinging to his frame. They're not dead. They could have endured much worse and survived.
I don't, Dazai-san. No, Dazai-san, I don't have permission. I can't.
The enemy's ability user's shield faltered under their attacks, the agency having overestimated their strength. Atsushi their spearhead, as he often is. What could human flesh do against claws that rip through abilities? Dazai tried to shush him, but to his horror, a teary sob wrenches its way out of the boy's throat. It was Dazai's plan, and it's Dazai's fault, but Atsushi is in no state to see that. There's blood drying on his hands, and words tumbling out of his mouth, and each one sends a stab at his heart. Anyone would be better, but Kunikida is out handling the police, and no one else came with them. Atsushi's eyes are glazing over, and he doesn't have time. What would ground him? He hasn't responded to anything Dazai said. He's aware at least that Dazai is here with him. Pain or shouting are out of the question. No, those would only send him spiraling further. Simple touch? It's worth trying. Atsushi does not expect harsh touches from him. He's always leaned into softer ones, subtle and unconscious, like if he were to acknowledge it, the touch would go away. It was him thinking of another boy, dark hair with white tips. Any physical contact they shared were blows and nullifying taps, and he was never one for physical affection, but that boy would never expect soft touches from him, would he? Atsushi's hands have found his hair, tugging and digging. His muttering has turned feverish. He's looking down, not talking to Dazai anymore. He acts before the boy's completely lost his head. He can think about everything later. He coaxes Atsushi's hands away from his hair, letting them clutch onto his own hand. They still shake, tremors he tries to soothe with gentle strokes. He's crying now, words unable to make it out of his mouth. Atsushi-kun, he chides, and his voice sounds so fond he'd feel sick in any other circumstance. He raises his other hand to wipe the tears mingling with the blood on his face. That's no way to talk about yourself. He leans into the contact but gives no indication of having heard him. Nausea washes through him in waves. His hands, forever stained with blood, cup his face with such care when his presence alone should be far, far away from someone as pure as Atsushi. His blood infected with mafia black shouldn't be so close to the boy's skin. Someone who cares so much, cries so freely for these people he doesn't know, who believes he has to prove himself worthy of being alive when Dazai is so flippant with his own life. But he's all that's here. It's rather silly, isn't it? Being allowed to live. No one dictates that. It's only what you wish. Atsushi shakes his head, again with the same desperation he uttered those terrible words.
But I'm not. Not until I... No. I'm trying. Why can't you see?
And Dazai knows he's lost him. He's addressing someone else entirely. Grip on Dazai's hand crushing, eyes looking beyond him. So he leans against the wall, pulling Atsushi with him to lie against his front. He hides his face in his chest, wrapping his arms around him. One hand carts through his hair, the other around his torso. The shaking has stopped, and that counts for something. Though it's replaced with chest-heaving sobs, his face buried in Dazai's shoulder, hands clutching his trench coat. Anyone else would have been better. He thinks of Akutagawa, and he doesn't know why his thoughts are straying. He never hugged him like this. Showing such vulnerability would be a weakness. Weakness that Dazai would exploit then and there to teach him a lesson, to never forget and never make that mistake again. After all, weakness in the mafia meant death. The light is kinder. It lets Atsushi break with no consequence. It lets Dazai be here to help pick him up later, build him back up, even as bad as he is with the job. The light is kinder. Dazai holds him just a little tighter. There's another shuddering sob from Atsushi, and then in a voice so quiet and small it aches, he says,
I want to live.
Dazai feels his heart break. What an odd feeling. You will, he vows. You will, Atsushi-kun. You'll grow old and get wrinkles and back pain. You'll get married to someone who loves you. I'll make sure of it. His fingers tighten on the other's shirt. His words fall on deaf ears. Atsushi's cries die out. He falls asleep soon after. Kunikata finds them like that. Dazai's gaze dark, nose buried in the boy's hair. Anybody would have been better. Dazai's grapple with being in the light doesn't get discussed as often as it should, especially having him faced with a situation that battles his morals. I also really like how often he thinks of Akutagawa here, comparing the circumstances. It reads as guilt of having shaped him as so. Lovely work as ever, Glade. Okay, so I now have about 3 stories in my fic list, which is unfortunate. And it doesn't help that I haven't been reading new work since college started. I need to start hunting for more fics, and if you have any fic recs, don't hesitate to send them over in the comments. You'll literally save the channel. Hope you enjoyed, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. Till next time.